Friday night. Wow. Wow. May 3rd. We're in a new month. 3 days into it already. Check my bank account. No extra money in mine. No extra money in Ron's. I know we are getting reports that people are seeing extra money, but I have not seen, you know, if someone does, I would really like to see. I don't want to see your bank account. I'm not interested in your bank account, but if somehow we could find something, that might prove it. But I'm not calling anybody out. I believe it is happening. I believe we are, as um, people are saying, we're right at the finish line, and I really believe that. And I know a lot of people are getting real tired of hearing it. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you about me on this show. If you're getting real tired of hearing me say it, I don't want you to not come on the show. I want you to come on the show. But if you're getting tired, I'll tell you, before I say it, I'll say something like, for those who don't want to hear what I'm about to say, turn your volume down. And that will give you ample warning to turn your volume down, and all you'll see is my lips moving. But see, I took on something here, and I'm not backing down. I'm going to play a song here in a little bit, Proud to be an American, and I am. And I was kind of chatting back and forth, and I thought, people are starving. They're starving for information. And then I got thinking, we promote Bruce's show, and Bruce had a good show last night. Marianne did an excellent job of broadcasting it to me. But then it was even more because we stood around and talked about religion. And I found out some things about her and her religion, and she found out some things about me. But Bruce had a great show, and I said, it seems funny that if we're all in this together, we promote Bruce's show tremendously, tremendously. Why wouldn't Bruce promote ours? Why wouldn't Bruce try to get his people to come? We don't want their money. And I'm not saying because I want the show to grow, but people are wanting information. They're wanting things. And I know a big part of our shows 2 days a week is talking about Bruce and his show. But, the people could come over and be part of the family. And I don't want to steal his people. That is not the point. The point is, I have promoted his show, Mike Penny's show, Charlie Ward, all of them. I had someone say to me yesterday, I know you're really mad at me because I haven't been on a lot here lately. I'm not, because I know why she's not part of the reason. Now, if there's something else more than, she's trying to gain information from someone else, because the beauty about this show is, guys, you can go watch any shows you want. You can come watch this one after it's uploaded onto my site. You can watch it anytime you want. And since we're only doing 3 days a week, it means that when I finish a show on Monday night around 7:45, 8 o'clock, you've got until 7 o'clock 2 days later to watch it. And it's the same thing with, Wednesday night show. And then Friday night, you got from the time we finish until Monday night. So, we give you plenty of time. Do we love to have you in the chat? Yeah. Do we love to see numbers? Yeah, because the more numbers we get, the more people are learning. Am I right about everything I say? No. Is anybody right about anything they say? No. Not anybody who's actually living and we're seeing each and every day. We were put here for that reason, to be people who people will look at and say, oh, they're going to do this. We're going to be there to stop them. While we're over actually taking down because they were staying unprotected in other areas. And that's a major, major thing. And some people say, well, I've been doing this so long. I said, how long have you been doing it? A year and a half. Bruce will tell you all the time he's been doing it for 13. And me and Ron was even doing it before Bruce's show come on. And I'm not going to lie to anybody. That's my son's favorite saying. I'm not going to lie to anybody. We didn't get in it for patriotism. We got in it because we were greedy. We got in it because we wanted the money, money, money. See, because we had lost some money that should have been ours. And we chose family over money. And that's one of the things that was mentioned in Bruce's show last night. When you go there, they're going to check you. And if you're not straight with your family and people, I don't know, somehow they're going to do something. I just think it's some more flags going up to make us think that, hey, they want us to keep, going up, our vibrations to keep going up. They want us, I don't hold grudges against anybody. I could tell you a couple people I could, but I don't. Why? Is me being mad at someone for something that happened gonna change anything? No. I listen to, guys, I don't hide the fact I love sports. And I listen to sports a lot. And, I keep hearing these people compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. There is no comparison, guys. There is no comparison at all. LeBron James is a very, very good basketball player. Michael Jordan is the greatest ever. And if you're from Boston, you might say Bill Russell is, because nobody won more championships than Bill Russell. All of the great Lakers that played for the Los Angeles Lakers, all of the great ones they've had, and they say LeBron is the greatest that's ever played in the league. What has he done for them? He's such a, I don't know what words I really want to use here. But when they got beat 4 out of 5 games and they're now out of the playoffs, he would not even shake one of the other people's hands. And now he has a son that wasn't even good enough to average 5 minutes a game, not 5 points a game. He couldn't even get in a game 5 minutes a game his freshman year. And now he's talking his son into declare for the draft because he thinks he'll be a first-round pick. You know why? Because the Lakers want to keep him, and if no one else takes him, the Lakers will waste a pick. And I love it because I don't like the Lakers. I don't care for LeBron because all he wants to do is cry. You got to give me better players and we can win championships. You brag about everything. There's nobody in the history that has missed more shots and lost more games in the playoffs than LeBron James. And enough of that. I'm not here to cut people down. I'm just trying to tell people, I don't care for him, but still, there's times when you watch him, you wonder, how did he do that? As so many sports people, how do you do that? I played a lot of baseball, and yesterday was my favorite player's 90th birthday, Luis Aparicio. I was a young kid when he played for the White Sox, and he played shortstop, and he wore number 11 for a long, long, long time. 11 was my favorite number because of him. And when the White Sox traded him, I cried like a baby. Thank goodness we didn't have coverage today the way back then the way we do today, because getting to see every game he played, I was just crying because they traded him. I mean, I was only 30 years old. I was like 6 or 7, I think, at the time. But it's fun. It's fun when you can tell a joke and you can laugh. Guys, I do have to share something with you, and I can't say what I want to say because the word ends in it, but another way of saying it is crap. I don't know who posted it on Telegram today, but if you've never heard the explanation is how did we get to this word in the way it is, you got to watch it because it is totally hilarious. I was listening to it today at my daughter's house, babysitting the monkey. And I mean, I'm laughing so hard, tears are running. And my granddaughter says, Grandpa, you got tears coming. Are you crying? I said, they're tears of joy, baby. And she says, what's going on? And I wouldn't let her hear it. But then when I played it for her mom later, her mom had no trouble. I mean, it's just a funny video. So you need to go to Telegram and watch it. But guys, I do want to talk to the children because as I start off every show with Super Jimmy, and I do this, guys, because of Jimmy's mom, Renee, because these special beds they need really bad. You know, I remember when my mom would just get sick with the flu when I was Jimmy's age, how scared I got. And here's a little boy that has to live each and every day because his mommy is sick. But I've messaged Renee, and Renee, I'm going to be sending you something here. Probably, I'm hoping to get it in the mail tomorrow, so look for it for Jimmy if you watch the shows. But, you know, they're such an amazing, loving family. She is so young, and, you know, that's why we need these beds, guys. And Jimmy, they're real. They're going to happen, you know, and I don't hide the fact that I am not a Sky Prince fan, but Sky Prince she's forgot more about these beds than I know. Okay. Plain and simple. I don't like the way she comes across, but I love getting the information. And I thank everybody when she does something good and they share it with me. Our little cowboy, you know, Patriot 11. Me and Ron went shopping yesterday, and we're standing in. I was in the store and I came out. Ron says, "Let's go to Yannicki's and get a tenderloin for lunch." I said, "Okay." I pulled in, and I go, "Whoa! It's not even Wiener Wednesday," which means Wiener Wednesday. That's what Yannicki's is famous for. That and their root beer. You get their hot dogs for a discounted price. Yeah. But we were going to go there, and we're going to get a tenderloin. I said, wow, man, I'm going to wait all day. I get up there, and people are just standing around, just jabbing. I says, is this where the line is? I said, oh, go ahead and go. Uh-huh. I mean, like 9 people let me go in front of them. So I wasn't there that long, but all of a sudden, there was a gentleman who ordered right after me who had a little boy. And he was having trouble with his little boy because his little boy was 12 years old, couldn't decide what he wanted. And I finally just said, tell your daddy you want one of everything. And the dad said, you can be quiet there, sir, you know, joking around. And all of a sudden, this cute little girl come up. And I said, hi, I'm Ralph. I go by Patriot5. You're cute and you remind me of my granddaughter. I bet you're 10 years old. She looked at her dad and she says, do I know him? And his dad said no. And I says, I got a granddaughter that you guys are almost the exact same. She was 10 years old. She'll be 11 in September. So she's a few months older than my granddaughter. But, you know, you pick up on things like this. But anyway, we get talking and I says, well, what are some of the things you like? And she loves riding horses. So Patriot 11, I got telling her the story about you. I got telling her the story about how we're going to get a ranch. We're going to have horses. And she said to her dad, you need to go on and watch his show and give him information that he can contact us when this happens, when he gets it. I said, it's going to be a year or so, maybe 2. But I said, hey, you're still only going to be 12. But you got to promise me, if I do, your dad does give me the information and I contact you, got to promise me you're going to come out and ride horses with us. You know, and it's just so amazing how you can, you know, build up the report. The dad looked at me and says, how do you get along so great with kids? You know, the people just more or less moved out of the way and let me go in line. I say, because I walk around with a smile on my face all the time. And I'm good to kids. I love kids, and they mean the world to me. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. I hope everything is going good with you and Mommy and your dad and the family. And Tell your mom I said hi. Patriot Princess. Patriot Wyatt. You know, I love it when your grandma puts pictures up of you guys. You know, I hope you enjoy what I've sent you. And, you know, there might be some other things coming your way eventually, but I got to get some money built back up. It's not that what I sent you was that expensive. It's just that I'm running through a lot of birthdays in the family right now, and grandkids can be a very, very expensive thing.
Especially when they have 2 birthdays.
What's that? Yeah, especially when they have a birthday party, cake and ice cream on their birthday, but then they have another party later. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. But I've got some ideas of some other things I want to help people out with and that. So be ready. And you know, Patriot Princess, I was talking on a show a couple days ago about there's actually a lady out there that calls herself Patriot Princess. And she's a very, very lovely lady. As a matter of fact, she had a very, very good video come out today. But, you know, we all know there's really only one Patriot Princess. The rest are just imitators. And you're our one. But see, you kind of hold 2 titles because we also kind of consider you our queen. But then again, the real queen's going to be announced here before long. And people don't even know she's still with us. You know, the excitement that looms about the announcements that are about ready to be made is just totally unbelievable. Patriot Boog, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. You know, and as God is my witness, yesterday was the one day I had off this week. I didn't have to babysit the little monkey. And I was feeling a little depressed. Just, you know, going through a couple of things that I didn't want to deal with, but I knew I had to. So I'm tell you what I did. I went to my email, and your grandpa had sent me some pictures of you kids, and I just looked at them and read his letter, and you know, all of a sudden I didn't feel so bad. I tell you another way. Anybody that's on this show tonight, anybody who gets depressed, give Patriot Savior. Give her your information and tell her, hey, give me a call. I'm telling you, I can talk, guys. I don't stand a candle in the wind when it comes to keeping up. This lady, and she's knowledgeable, you know, and she's telling me things, and she says, do you know this person? No. And even if I do it, I wouldn't remember them all. I mean, she has so much knowledge. Talk about a true patriot that's into this. But, you know, I've never once heard her say, well, if it don't happen, I'm going to be upset. Because she knows we're in for the long ride. We're in for it till the finish line. And I really believe the finish line's coming soon, kids. I really believe that. Patriot Little Leona, I look at your pictures and I just see so much happiness in your smile. And in knowing what you're bringing to your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents, the love that they're going to share with you. Oh, you're one lucky little girl. But in my mind, the real luck came to you when you was born on the same day as my mom. And the luck came to us when they named you after her. Patriot Super Gymnast. This kid. I really don't have words for her. Me and her's planning something for maybe next week. We don't know for sure. Maybe the week after. It's got to happen soon, but we don't know exactly when. But I don't want to talk about it because my daughter has to talk to Daddy about it first, and it's something I used to do with my kids. But she's very excited about it. It won't be that big a deal. It'll just be me and her. Patriot 7 had a rough baseball game last night. Defensively, he is really good. He is. Made some plays last night, but didn't always get the out because when he throw it to the first baseman or someone else, they drop the ball. And I mean, he knows what he's doing out there, and he's still a young kid. Now, when I say a young kid, you know, at his age, I mean, I can't believe the difference of the kids at my age. That with my age now, when we were their age, what they are now, the difference in the game, because see, kids just have too many toys to play with. And I'm not cutting the kids down. It's just they got too many toys, you know. get them outside, get them playing. And that's the one thing my daughter's really concentrating on. And, they've only got a short time left of school, so everything's going to change. And Patriots, small Hank, I haven't got to see him. I just bought him a new hat. He's big into dinosaurs, and I was able to get him an all dinosaur hat. There's about got to be 30 dinosaurs on it. I haven't seen him to give it to him, and he's got a ball game tomorrow, so maybe I'll take it to the game with me, and I'll give it to him, and then he can let his mom and dad bring it home. Patriot little monkey. I tell you, it's hard to even get worn down a little bit when you babysit her. She keeps you on the go all the time. We got a thing now where we have to have a pillow fight all the time now. Every day that I babysit her, we have to have a pillow fight. And she starts laughing and she never stops. And I'll whack her in the head with the pillow and she bounces back. She's like the Energized Bunny, I'm telling you. And then Patriot, Kira, I see her, even though she lives with me, they're always on the go, and I see her probably 3 times a week. And when I see her, it's like, oh, she's got to be around me. She loves coming in my bedroom, opening the door and coming in my bedroom when I'm trying to lay down and get a nap. But it's an amazing kid. And, the last ones I mentioned are all my grandkids, and I love them with all my heart. It's just me. I've talked to so many people about the kids, and it's about the kids. But the kids of today, they're just not ready for what they need. They're just getting led wrong, and we need to change that. Am I saying tablets and the phones and everything have to go away? No. But we got to get these kids to where they understand what a street light is. We have to get these kids that they understand that if you do something wrong, you're going to be punished. I heard of a kid here a while back that his mom did something, and I'm going to even go further back than that. I remember when my mom was still alive, and I remember one of my nieces and nephews made the statement, if my mom or dad hit me, I'm calling 911 and having them arrested. And my mom said, well, you might as well call them twice, because if you do that, I guarantee you I'm spanking your, what you said on. Oh, my mom didn't. She was the most lovingest person I ever knew. But I'm telling you, you didn't disrespect adults. We were taught, I don't care if you got to sit on a dirty floor. If you was someplace and an adult walked in a room and you was a kid, you got out of where you were sitting and you give them. Heck, we was even taught if they wanted their back scratched, even if they was just a cousin, but they were older, an aunt, an uncle, you scratch their back. Maybe that's the term, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But kids, it's all about you guys. Yes, we're going to get things and the adults are going to get things, but it's going to be because the things that we're going to get, we're going to be able to make your life. You, by the time you're my age, you'll be the group that will never had to go through the things that all of us did. And it's coming to a theater near you. So I'm gonna say the pledge, and then I'm going to go through and play the music, and then we'll get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, that's why they let that one guy go. They brought
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American. With peace I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave them right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
Look out. Because what? I said, a bomb's about ready to explode. She's going like this and
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd gladly stand next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
yes, yes, yes. God bless the USA. Anyway, I was reading something there. I'm sorry, but
Today I am going to discuss.
where do we begin tonight's show? I received a video, or I seen a video. I don't remember where, but in the video, it was an Illinois. I don't know if it was a senator, congressman, or what. I mean, he was yelling, he was screaming, he was cussing, and he was telling it how the hog ate the cabbage. He was discussing, and he's tired of just because one man is in charge. Because one man is in charge, our lives being not the way it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. He said that is not in the Constitution, but nobody does anything. And the video may be on my YouTube, on my Telegram channel. I don't remember exactly where it was. It also could have been Margaret might have sent it, or I'm not sure exactly who. Linda sent me a video today, and I really like the girl that does it. She more or less does a version of Judy Bidington's stuff, but I like the way she does it better than I like the way the guy does it. The only thing I don't like the way she does it is there's always, about every 6 or 7 minutes, there's something play like it's a commercial. They don't talk, but it's just like a break in everything. So in this, she says to me, Linda does, she says, also, Ralph, in this video, it mentions Zim currency bonds and how valuable they are. Well, when someone says, what are we going to get for the Zim, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe the only one that's even close to knowing what we're going to get is Dave XRP. And there's a possibility even what he said we're going to get could be low. And the reason is Zimbabwe is without a doubt what they're saying. the richest country in the world now. But see, the difference is Zimbabwe gets to use the gold that they have. And it's not just the gold that they have now. They have billions and billions and maybe trillions of gold still that needs to be mined and brought out. And if that's not enough, they are so rich, they might be the richest country in the world in diamonds. So imagine, or can you gold back standard something? Yes. They said that right now, they have enough gold to back all the bonds that's out there. All the $100 trillion or whatever bonds that's out there. They have enough to back it. Now, we all know we ain't going to get $100 trillion for a $100 trillion note. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even want it. But when I hear what Dave and XRP says about the amount, that gets me a little excited. That makes me think that maybe, just maybe, my dream of owning the Chicago White Sox could happen. And I've always thought, okay, I can own it, but I'm not smart enough to run it. I'm not smart enough to run the team. But then I'm coming home tonight, and I got tired of talking to myself. I don't like to listen to the two sports channels on right then because I don't like the DJs that host them. They're nothing but a piece of doo-doo. But I turned on to one station, and all they want to do is talk about the Cubs and the Cubs and the Cubs. And barf bag, please. So I thought, well, I'll go over to the other station and see what and they're talking about a White Sox pitcher. Oh, yeah, the reason they're talking about a White Sox pitcher is because they they say that the White Sox should trade him to the Cubs so he can be the Cubs closer. But they're not willing to give nothing up for him. Some wacky-dacky minor leaguers, and you want a guy who could come in and save 40 or 50 games for you. But as I'm thinking this, yes, I have the knowledge of the game. Ron has the knowledge of the game, but the running of a team and the things like that. But then they started talking on one of the channels. They started talking about Mike Vick. Mike Vick is the son or grandson, I don't know which, of Bill Vick. Bill Vick actually saved the White Sox from leaving Chicago and going to Florida. And for that, as a White Sox fan, Bill Vick is always going to be my favorite owner. And he said Mike Vick does not have the money to buy them, but the announcers were saying, let's all start pooling, not pooling their money, but with what they do for a living, where they can get the word out. They said, what we need to do is start letting people know out there that Mike Vick needs to own this and get people, billionaires, to just start putting the money in, and it will turn a profit. Now, it might not turn a profit that they think because, let's face it, you go and spend X amount of billions of dollars for a team right now, and then all of a sudden we go to 50 prices. You ain't going to get that. But anyway, it is what it is. And I got thinking, wow, if I had that money, I would gladly like to talk with this man, sit down with him, with attorneys and the right people, and say, hey, how would you like to help run our ball team? I would also say, in a lot of cases, there's not going to be no major decisions without Ron and myself putting our opinion in. But you know more about certain things. You know how to adjust the money, how to do this, how to do that. Where me, I know how to, if I think a player is worth something, then you get him. So that's just a little something. But anyway, going back to Zimbabwe, oh my goodness, the currency. I read the other night about what they was worth, what the one bank has or the country has. And that isn't even counting the gold. It's just astronomical. Now that all the gold is in the right places, there's no countries that are poor anymore. And it took a long time, but when we think about, oh, I've been in this for a year, I've been in this for 5, I've been in it for 15. When you think it's been a long time, think about something that was sent to me also today, or I read, that the hat, okay, the hat is literally on the verge of taking everything back. Now, it might come a little easier than what was expected, and it might be a little bit easier to explain than expected, because Arizona, supposedly it come out on one of the major networks, but nobody has run with it, which I don't understand why. But Arizona supposedly has come out and said, we have overturned the results, and the hat actually won our state, not Sleepy. Now, that in turn does not give the hat the number one job in the United States. That doesn't do it, but it shows that there was, that C word, it shows that that occurred. And if that occurs, that is treason. And, say goodbye to Sleepy and his clowns that work with him. Now that, I don't understand, and it might come out that way. That might be one of the ways they break it. I don't know. I'm just telling you guys what I heard and what I seen. That is a possibility. So I just wanted to talk, that what Linda had sent me about Zimbabwe, and I know Margaret sent something here. Oh, Margaret sent me the thing about calm and relax you. The I really wish I could play it here, but I think we probably have some troubles with people that we don't want to have troubles with. So I've got a lot of little bitty things. Here's one that breaking news: the hat exonerated in the Stormy Daniel hush money trial. That's what it says. Now, I think there was something in there also I wanted to read. Maybe not. I thought, let me go back. It says that the attorney for them literally come out and said it was a scheme, a scam. Let's see what else we have. The hat, President the Hat posted that Sleepy ordered the raid, where he lives. Well, we all thought it, but I don't know if you're noticing, if you're reading, if you're getting the information, but he's starting to come out and say an awful lot of things right now. See, as I said, I got some information, but a lot of it is just little bitty things. This is something forwarded from Sergeant News Network. It's a lady. I never listened to what she said, but I want to read what's under it. Extremely alarming. Now, anytime that Sleepy thinks that he's doing a good job, here's what has happened and is going to happen through his administration. The downfall of the U.S. economy. Dollar Tree closing 600 stores this year. CVS closing 900 stores through the end of this year. Walgreens closing 150 stores. Outback Steakhouse has already closed 40 of its restaurants. UPS is cutting 1,200 jobs in 2024. Citigroup cutting 20,000 positions as well. eBay Thousands jobs lost there. Microsoft cutting 1,900 positions. Expedia cutting 1,500. Cisco cutting 4,000. Apple cutting 600. Regal Cinemas closing 429 locations. Kroger groceries chains shutting down 413 stores. Foot Locker closing down 400 stores by 2026. Macy's will close 150 locations by 2026. Walmart has already this year has closed 6 of its super centers. Now, how can any man who's been in charge of the country for going on 4 years now, how can he stand up and say he's doing a great job? How can anybody, I don't care, at some point, whether you voted for him or not, if you did, you got to stand up and say, wow, did I make a mistake? If you don't have the stones to say that, then there's something really, really wrong. I mean, as I'm reading that, one of the things that come to my mind is I said, well, you know, when we do the humanitarian projects, they're saying people at certain ages have to work or they don't get their R&R money. And I'm thinking, but you're not going to be working as long. So if you're not working as long in a week, you're going to need more people to run during the week. So there's going to be plenty because everybody's closing. You know, and as I'm reading this, living in an area where a lot of this, I've seen a CVS where I used to get my medicines. When I went to the hospital this last time and they put me on medicines, I used to get it CVS in Herscher. It gone. Now I got to drive almost 20 miles to get my medicine. Pretty close, about 20 miles to get my medicine instead of about 4.5 or 5. And, you know, so everything has its consequences because, you know, they're talking about closing Kroger's. You know, that's one major grocery store we have here. They're talking about Walmart. That's another one. I mean, if all of these things go down, we're going to be stuck with like two major grocery stores. And so what's the prices going to be? If everybody else is closing down, you know, the prices are going to go, you know. And you know, the one store that I go to because it's convenient, and it's in an area what is mainly senior citizens. But boy, I tell you, I looked at them one day and I said, you don't give senior citizens a break. And see, I don't want it for me because I don't consider myself a senior citizen. I'm 70 years old and I act like I'm 30. So, you know, it doesn't bother me, but when I see these, when I've been in there, and that's the store that I've been in there and that literally bought these people that, you know, some steaks and some hamburgers and things like that. I got an itchy nose, so if you see me rubbing it, it's not that I'm doing something bad. It's just that my nose itches. You know, I've heard the saying, if your nose itches, you're coming into something good. So Herman says, something tells me we're coming into something good. The 17th letter, praying we are finally there. RMN, Tuesday, 30th April, launch of Operation Storm. There was expected to be an announcement by Junior, was not only still with us, but working with the 17th letter of the alphabet as the U.S. Republic Vice President under the hat. Guys, is any of you following Mel Gibson? This man is on fire. He is bringing it. I can't say what he's bringing because you're going to have to go check it out yourself, but he is bringing it. RV highlights, forward from Bernie Incel, YouTube, BRICS currency announced. It is gold-backed. In this week's video, we look at Russia's announcement of an official BRICS currency There has been speculation and rumors of this currency for some time, and one major theory is that it would be backed by a basket of commodities, including gold. Let me hold on a second. I didn't see. The reason I ask you to hold on, here's a lady that says, I would rather invest in BRICS currency than in the US dollar given the current turmoil in the world. Well, lady, that's no joke. I mean, that shows you're an intelligent lady. So this is from TNT Tony, and this has got people a lot excited. TNT Tony says the call will be late this evening, like it's going to pop this weekend, says TNT Tony. Stay tuned. So evidently there's going to be a big call, but it's going to be late tonight. Okay. BRICS 11 currencies dip against the US dollar. The US dollar has outperformed 11 leading global currencies, including that of BRICS nations, from year to date in 2024. I read it to you. I don't believe it. That's just me. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see what we got. I have no idea why I put this up here. I don't know why. I think I put the wrong thing up there. Okay. Let's go up here and see Bruce's reading. Guy, I didn't talk about Bruce. I'm just going to read it. We'll discuss it a little bit before we go to Judy's. Bruce just saying prior to his Intel segment that the R&R for those expecting these payments, they will be receiving them at their exchanges. This might only be for the U.S., but of course there is no harm in asking. And also for those prosperity packages, those will also be done and given at the time of the individual exchanges. Now, last night, as Mary Ann was giving me play-by-play of Bruce's call, we got discussing, well, what happens to the people who don't have currency? Ron says everybody's going to have to go there anyway to get their quantum phones and whatever else they're going to get. So what me and Mary Ann was discussing, we was saying that there's a possibility that we're going to go to a redemption center that is going to be set up for the currencies. The other people will get the messages that they will be going to the redemption center to get the things that they need to, but also get their R&R and the other stuff. And that makes sense because to walk in, they might just train just regular banks to say, okay, you just go into your regular bank, you set an appointment, you go in, you get what you got coming, you get accounts set up for it, and you're ready to rock and roll. So we'll see. Intel only, where are we now? Well, we are in May 2nd, and we have good news. What is happening now? And based on modified shotgun start and with the bondholders still receiving their emails. But let's talk about Iraq. They are tentatively from 4 a.m. This is going to celebrate financial inclusion tomorrow. And this sounds like they are part of the world system again. And with the IQD revalued and put with a new rate for the whole world to see, and we have the IQD trading on the screens, and we know what they have been. But today they are flickering on the screens and trading up and down. So already, whatever, the celebration in Iraq. And some other information. So last Tuesday, the global takedown and the arrest, which should have taken 2 or 3 more days, and hopefully it doesn't affect our start. And one 3-letter agency beginning with C are part of that cleanup, and President CIC is doing what JFK had adapted. In other words, the hat is putting the finishing touches on what JFK started. Arizona turned over results of the election, but MSM ignored this. We are waiting for those 3 green lights, and I didn't realize until yesterday the military gave their green light on Monday, and now we need the Treasury and the Wells Fargo's banks, and boom, 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 we're ready. What they're saying is the Treasury, the Wells Fargo's banks, and the military, all 3 are in charge of giving the green light for us to go. Our military has done it. We're now waiting on that. And that was a major talking subject for me and Marianne last night, talking because we was in a situation where we didn't understand. We thought the Treasury was already being run by, the military. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Short text said 5-4. Okay. Bruce several times mentioned 5-month, 4th day. I think we figured it out. He said it 5 times. So he really believes that during all the preparation that tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be what we're looking for. Ghost signs, and we get these notifications, and that's kind of goes along with it. Says that bondholders will be getting between $100 and $200 million into their accounts, but that is all good news. And if we are redeeming ZIM, and for us in the U.S., R&R is also to be added to the balance. I had already talked about that. That's pretty much it for Bruce. Wolverine came on with a special video, and he said it's midnight here. So I'm assuming it. I don't know how many hours they're ahead of us, but I don't know what time it was our time. But he said it was midnight, and he was getting ready to go to bed, but he said it's done. We're ready to go. He said this weekend is going to be coming soon. And I think he said this weekend, but I don't want to quote it just in case. But he said coming soon, we're going to see the biggest transformation of money in the history of the world. Let's see what Judy has to say. Restored Republic via a GCR as of May 3rd, 2024, by Judy Bidington, renowned author. 22 Faces of Jenny Hill, Extraordinary Multiple Personalities. High Alert, U.S. Constitution, hanging on by a thread on Monday, 27th, May 2024. Sleepy plans to CEDE, U.S. sovereignty, to who in pandemic treaty? It is. If so, it's the end of the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights and the beginning of the totalitarian dictatorship. White hats to release on Wednesday, 1 May. The Global Military Alliance launched Operation Storm. It's over. Blackout confirmed. Phase 1 is now active. 17th letter, Junior on Telegram says this. Alert, something big is coming. Turn all notifications on. Prepared for global shutdown. Should the lights go out, please know that we are in control. Do not panic. We are prepared as assets. Remember what I told you about the hat, that there's going to be something, it looks like fake happening. We know we've been preparing for this. It is a clone, don't worry. And that is going to be something really great. Israel was still trying to start a war on May 2nd. You know, everything else that's left with Judy, I'm pretty much covered in the show already tonight. Guys, I don't want to wish you a happy weekend. I don't want you to tell you to have a good weekend. I want to tell you to have the greatest weekend of your life. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to get these notifications. Maybe, just maybe, something big's going to happen. And, you know, myself personally, I was a little disappointed about the R&R. I was a little disappointed about other things because myself personally, I was hoping the R&R would happen before the revaluation. Because, see, they're going to put us in an NDA. They're going to put us in an NDA, and because some people's going to have just so much. And if everybody gets the R&R, everybody's going to have it. So they're not going to pay attention to people like myself. If I go in and Ron goes in and we decide we want to go out and buy a new house, or we want to refix up our house, or we want to get a new truck or a new car, people's going to say, well, where'd you get the money all of a sudden? You're two senior citizens, you know. But if everybody gets the R&R, they're going to say, oh, they just took some of their R&R money, you know. So that being said, just be prepared. You know, we don't know if we've ever, you know, we haven't been told much truth all along. Why would this change? Just keep your vibrations up. Keep chatting with one another. Stay friends with one another. If you do have proof that someone got extra money, please share it. You know, it would be better if you could take a little copy and show where we could we don't want to see your whole bank account, but if you could show, like the month before, this is what was put in your bank on this particular day from SS, and then you could show the next month. See, I'm not calling anyone liars. I don't think anybody would be willing to lie about something like this. But what I'm saying is, you know, proof is in the pudding, is what they say. And, you know, if we can, you know, get some good pudding, then it can make the shows a lot better. But with that, I just hope and pray that everyone has a great weekend. And I mean, as Wolverine says, the biggest money transformation in the history of the world is about ready to happen. But more important than that, the greatest thing in the world, other than that, when Jesus Christ was put on it, is about to happen, because we're going to be free. They're going to be gone. We won. It's over. It's a movie, and we're going to cross the finish line. Wolverine's going to sing the opera. Everything is going to be amazing. Dear Lord, as we end this show tonight, I want to thank you for an amazing week with amazing people. We're family here. Lord, I do want you to look out for a few families. There's a family that we call the guy Doc when we worked. And there's another family, the Lunsford family, that they lost these loved ones. Tom Lunsford, Lord, as you know, he was a man of his own. Yeah. You couldn't know him and not love him. And, you know, Lord, you give him so much. And we pray to you that you look after their families and accept them in your house. And we pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. and amen. Before I go, guys, I just mentioned in prayer Tom Lunsford. Tom Lunsford was a man who worked with Ron and myself. Where Ron lives, if you go out and go to the corner, which is a quarter of a block, and go a half a mile, and then go another half a mile, which is a mile, but it's separated by a stop sign and a highway. But if you do that, Tom used to live. So me and Tom drank many a beer together. So did Ron. He was always at all the functions at work. He was one of these guys that you could be in the worst mood in the world, and if you talk to him for 2 minutes, he could have you great. And about 30 years ago, Tom Lunsford died. You're saying, wait a minute, Ralph, have you been drinking tonight? No. 30 years ago, Tom Lunsford died for 9 minutes. He was literally gone for 9 minutes. People who go for that long, if they do come back, they usually got trouble with their brain. Well, see, Tom didn't have to worry about that because, as he told everybody, he didn't have a brain. And that's what he told people. But he literally seen the light. He told the story. He's seen the bright light. And then all of a sudden, he's seen his mother-in-law, and his mother-in-law said, no, it's not your time. You fight and you go back and you take care of my daughter. And he did. And he went back and he took care of his daughter. And then 5 years later, his daughter had a massive heart attack and died and didn't come back. Tom's lived the last 25 years of his life without his wife. And I'm going to tell you right now, you never seen a husband and a wife closer. He would get aggravated with her, but he would not. He would not curse her. He would not hit her. And he would get aggravated, which I don't care who you are. Every marriage is going to have aggravation. Tom Lunsford was also a man that at a time probably had the most vulgar mouth I've ever heard on a man. The only one that could be more vulgar at our factory was the women. and I mean, me going in there as a young kid, I started at 19 years old, and I'm hearing this stuff and I'm thinking, they wouldn't let us even say the nasty word for poop in school. And they're saying this now. And I'm just thinking, wow. But he was a great man. So guys, if you get a chance, please say a prayer for Tom Lunsford's family and for Doc's family. Doc's family was also part of a cousin of ours that his dad was the dad of the, I don't know. She explained it to me, and I really don't know what to say, but I don't like to ask for prayers for people you don't know, but these are some pretty special people. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later.